Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be going through graphic design. And first I want to talk about what graphic design is. Okay, graphic design is a word you hear a lot about. It's something that's all around us in our culture, but it's hard for people to kind of explain what it is. So a lot of times when I ask students what graphic design is, they say it's designs made with graphics, or it's something like that, you know, and that doesn't tell us anything, right? That's not a definition. So let's look at what graphic design is, because it's a huge part of our world. So graphic design is using images and or text to communicate visually. So let's look at those pieces. Images, some kind of image. Does it have to be a picture? No. Does it have to be a drawing? No. It could be abstract. Could it be a picture? Well, yeah. Could it be a drawing? It is a lot of times. Graphic design can be a lot of different things. It doesn't have to have an image. Well, that's the thing that's weird about it, is it doesn't. It's images and or text. So could it be just text? Well, yeah, it could be. Does it have to have text? No. But graphic design usually has both those things, and sometimes it's just one or the other. So all of it, though, has one purpose, and that is to communicate a message. And that's what separates graphic design from other art forms that are out there. So let's look at other art forms. Drawing, painting, sculpture, metalwork. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? All those things can be done, and they might be to communicate a message, but they don't have to be. It could just be for art's sake. There's a lot of paintings out there that may communicate a message, but that's not really the main purpose of it. It might not be super clear, like a painting, right? You have this beautiful painting, and it is saying something about the world that it's portraying. It's saying something about maybe the society. Could be even bigger than that, right? It could be political, could have all sorts of implications. But it's a little more left up to the viewer to interpret. That's not the goal of graphic design. Graphic design is to communicate clearly. That's what it is. If you don't have that, you don't have graphic design. You might have something called graphic art, which might be similar in style to the images used in graphic design, but it's not the same thing. Graphic design is for the purpose to communicate a message, okay? Now, that makes graphic design used a lot of times in things like advertising, right? Where it has to do with money or something like that, because they want to communicate to you that you want to buy this product, or that you want to see this movie, that you want to sign up for this loan, or whatever it is. All these things graphic designers are tasked with trying to communicate to a viewer and trying to get them to actually do it. So in one way, graphic design is kind of like a way to, well, I want to say manipulate the public, right? We want to sell them on a product or get them to do it. Manipulate might be a hard word, but it's really to communicate what they want to as effectively as they can about their product or what it is or whatever the event is, or it could be a concert they want you to go to. That's their product. It could be a book they want you to buy. All those things, graphic design has a purpose. Okay, so graphic design made of text and or images communicating a message. So graphic design also has a goal. It's actually got two goals. So one we already talked about. It's got the goal to communicate a message. Hands down, it's got to be there. The other thing graphic design needs to do is it's got to get your attention. If it doesn't get your attention, you're never going to get that understanding of whatever it is they're trying to communicate. Take a movie poster, for example. Let's say you're walking down the mall and you walk right by a movie poster, don't even notice it, doesn't grab your attention at all. That graphic designer did not succeed at capturing your attention. Now, that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, because all sorts of things appeal to certain different people, and that's part of graphic design too, also learning what your demographic is. But generally, they want you to look at that poster and want you to take note of it so they can communicate what kind of movie it is. If it's like an action movie, horror movie, comedy, hopefully that comes across in the poster. Hopefully you can also tell what actors are in it, and hope that might pique your interest. And maybe the date, the name of the movie is usually something they want to communicate pretty clearly. All those things they want to get across to you, so you can say to yourself, hey, I've got to see such and such a movie at such and such a time because I love this such and such an actor, and I love comedies or horrors or dramas or whatever kind of movie it is, okay? So graphic design's got those two goals. One, to communicate a message, it's got to be there, and two, it's got to get your attention somehow. Now, getting your attention can be done in several ways. You don't necessarily have to make the most beautiful image. It can be maybe it grabs your attention because something's disturbing about it and it makes you look at it and you want to figure out what's going on. Maybe it's a little confusing and you have to look at it a little bit to figure out what it's trying to tell you. Those things can be done, and they can be done very well and very successfully. It can also just be very bold and grab your attention with color and with bold lines that make you just kind of look at it instinctively, because those are the kinds of things our eyes gravitate to. Graphic design can be done in all those different ways. Okay, so let's take a look at this stop sign. Here's a stop sign. What's its purpose? It's to communicate something to you, right? It wants to tell somebody in a car to stop right there because there could be traffic coming a different way. You just have to know to stop. How does it do this? Is it an overly complicated image? Not really. It's a simple shape. Now, that simple shape is key. I can't think of any other street signs that have that kind of shape. This is unique to a stop sign. How else does it do it? What color is it? It's red and white. Very simple colors, but red is a very attention-getting color. If you see that red stop sign, you know that you need to do something with your foot and the brake when you're coming up to it. The text. Very beautiful? Not really. But very clear, very bold? Yeah. They didn't use thin font. They didn't use decorative font. They used something easily read from far away so you know what to do. Okay, so graphic design is all around us. We are going to learn about elements and principles of it so we know how to use graphic design effectively. We're going to learn about Adobe Illustrator and learn the main tool for using graphic design. And I hope to see you guys next video, and I hope you learned something today.